"Ashley, sweetheart, the bread didn't turn out so well. Could you do something about it?" "What do you mean, didn't turn out well?" Stephen asked. "Maybe we need a better oven, love. I've seen some great ones for sale lately." "Okay, I'll discuss it with Mrs. Stacy," I replied. "My name is Ashley Walson, and I'm 35 years old. I work from home as a full-time Forex trader. I met my husband, Stephen, 2 years older than me, at our previous job. We were employed at a small mail-order business, Akin, he in the pet food department and I in customer service for the cosmetic department. The job was challenging, often requiring us to stay late and catch the last train home. However, we always looked forward to our weekly drinks with the same group of coworkers after those long nights. Back then, we worked overtime daily, finding little joy in life despite earning decent money. We had no time to spend it, and our only solace was our nightly drinking sessions. It was during these gatherings that my husband, who was part of our group, and I started dating. We got married 3 years ago. After we got married, I quit my job and stayed home for a while. During this time, I discovered Forex trading. I immersed myself in learning, buying several books, and gathering a wealth of information online. It was a challenging journey to become a Forex trader. I invested in a computer for trading, opened a trading account, and dedicated several months to studying Forex, practicing with demo trades, and trading small amounts of money. Eventually, I developed my style and began earning consistently. However, my in-laws who live with us don't understand my job at all. Last year, my father-in-law retired. They were living on their own in public housing, and my husband, concerned about their financial situation, invited them to move into our 3-bedroom condo. I pay the rent for our condo. When I first started with Forex trading, my husband was still working, and we managed to get by. Once I began earning a steady income from Forex, I took over paying the rent and covering our living expenses. "Dad, Mom, Ashley is taking care of all our living expenses, so please feel at home," my husband said. "Ashley, thank you so much. We appreciate it," they replied, and that's how our life with my in-laws began. I don't do any household chores at all because we have a housekeeping service that handles everything. Mrs. Stacy, the woman in charge, is an excellent cook and takes care of all the other chores perfectly, which is a huge help. This allows me to focus on studying Forex and sharing my earning strategies on blogs and other platforms instead of doing housework. However, my in-laws aren't happy with this arrangement. Initially, when they moved in, they were modest and grateful. But after 2 months, they started complaining. Why doesn't the daughter-in-law do any housework even though she's at home? Is it a job to just sit in front of the computer all day? Forex is just gambling. Of course, they don't say these things directly to me, but I can tell that they're nagging my husband about it. Since he no longer has to pay rent or cover living expenses, he spends his entire salary on himself, and his attire has become quite flashy. He always wears custom-made suits, brand-name shoes, and designer bags. He's always loved fashion, and now he seems quite satisfied being able to indulge in it. He used to act as a buffer against my in-laws' complaints, but recently that has changed. "You're always glued to your computer. You don't wear makeup, and you only wear sweatpants. Isn't that terrible?" He said one day. "Wait, what do you mean it's terrible? Do I need to dress up and put on makeup just to be at home?" I replied. "You might be okay with it, but it doesn't match me," he responded. "What do you mean it doesn't match you?" "We're at home." "What does it matter?" "It does matter." "Don't you want to look cute for me?" he asked. "Cute? What are you talking about? Is that necessary?" I questioned. Ever since that conversation, my husband has started complaining about me along with my in-laws. One evening after dinner, as I was heading to the bathroom, I overheard a conversation coming from the living room. "What's with Ashley? Is she making fun of us? She always has a bad attitude." "Yeah, she's making fun of us. She thinks we're poor because we lived in public housing. That's right. I feel the same way. She doesn't do anything around the house because she wants to act like she's above it all. Anyone can do Forex. Ashley studied a little bit and started making $20,000 a month. I can do it too. That's right, you can do it too. She's making money from gambling, which anyone can do. Yes, she's acting all high and mighty. I don't like it, and she's not even cute. I always wonder who she thinks she is. Even though I work from home, I always had breakfast with my husband before he left for work. He still works at the same company we used to work at, so he comes home late. We both cherished our breakfast time together as our time, but he started avoiding it, saying, "I'll eat breakfast on the way." I'm good. Leaving without eating, my mother-in-law sneered at my husband's behavior. Yeah, Stephen must be getting tired of a woman who doesn't fulfill her duties as a wife. It's only natural. Duties of the wife? Isn't it enough that Mrs. Stacy is managing all the household chores flawlessly? I retorted, talking about traditional wife duty seems outdated. Outdated? We hold on to old-fashioned customs, she replied. I received plenty of scolding from my mother-in-law, too. What do you mean by scolding? As long as the housework is taken care of, isn't that sufficient? I'm the one covering the expenses. Expenses? Do you think I'll stay silent if you bring up money for a few living expenses? My mother-in-law, who had been living without the burden of covering living expenses, seemed to be using money to socialize with others her age in her apartment building. I noticed her purchasing and flaunting expensive brand-name bags multiple times. Similarly, my father-in-law was investing his entire pension into his golf hobby. I even spotted a new set of golf clubs in our hallway. Meanwhile, I was the one footing the bill for rent and all other living expenses. I couldn't fathom what these people were up to. With my in-laws having nowhere else to go, I had no choice but to endure it. About a month after Stephen stopped having breakfast with me, his business trips became more frequent. He claimed to be involved in a new business venture, considering importing LEDs from Korea, which led to a significant increase in his trips there. He mentioned another trip scheduled for the upcoming weekend. During one of Stephen's absences, I decided to have lunch with my friend Amy at a nice Italian restaurant we had previously visited with Stephen. However, to my surprise, I spotted him there despite supposedly being on a business trip to Korea. Amy and I were enjoying our wine when she pointed him out, saying, "Isn't that Stephen?" I turned to see Stephen leaving the restaurant with another woman. That can't be him. Can it? He's supposed to be in Korea, I muttered, bewildered. Amy tried to dismiss it, but it was undoubtedly Stephen. He appeared to be spending the weekend with another woman while claiming to be on a business trip. The woman was petite and exuded a youthful charm. She seemed to be in her early 20s, much younger than Stephen, who is 37. I recalled Stephen asking me, "Don't you want to look cute for me?" It became evident that Stephen was being unfaithful, so I decided to hire a private detective to investigate him on Monday. Additionally, I noticed an increasing number of packages addressed to my mother-in-law being delivered. "Are you buying more things, Mother?" I asked. "Do I need your permission?" she retorted. "No, that's not what I meant." It appeared that my mother-in-law had developed a penchant for online shopping, indulging in more brand-name bags and accessories. With the proliferation of copy products online, I wondered if she was aware of the risks. Sure enough, one day while Stephen was at work and I was in my room working, she approached me and said, "I need your opinion on something." "What is it?" I asked. "Come with me," she urged. In the living room, she had opened a package. I purchased 5 bags because they were on sale, but they appear to be counterfeit. You have to be cautious when shopping online, especially for branded items, I advised. Upon inspection, it was clear that the items were indeed counterfeit. I couldn't help but wonder how much she had spent on these knockoffs. "What should I do about this?" she asked me. You should attempt to negotiate a return with the seller, I suggested. She tried contacting the seller, but struggled to find their phone number. When she finally did, it turned out to be disconnected. Emailing them proved futile as well, with no response. In the end, she had paid a total of $3,000. The e-commerce website seemed legitimate at first glance, but it offered brand-name bags at unrealistically low prices. Since she had paid via bank transfer, she could have sought recourse through her credit card company, and the site had a strict no-cancellation policy. Mother, it's crucial to exercise caution when purchasing brand-name items. If they're unusually inexpensive, chances are they're fake. Please consider that before making impulsive purchases solely based on price. You're such a nag, she retorted. Feeling futile in the conversation, I retreated to my room to resume my work. However, on Sunday after dinner, my father-in-law unexpectedly confronted me about my involvement in Forex. He had learned about it while golfing with his former colleagues the day before. I've heard that Forex is a scam. Are you deceiving people to earn money, Ashley? He asked. What? I exclaimed, taken aback. I've heard they lure you in, saying, want to make easy money with Forex? We guarantee you won't lose, and then trick you into investing. Your Forex activities must be a scam too, my father-in-law accused. No, I'm not persuading anyone to invest, I defended. You think you can deceive me just because I'm not tech-savvy, he challenged. No, I'm not trying to deceive you, I insisted. Do you think your father-in-law suspects you're engaging in fraud because you're making money so effortlessly? He pressed. It's not effortless. I've explained this to you numerous times, I countered. You're raking in all this cash with minimal effort. Naturally, it seems easy. Meanwhile, I'm toiling away at the company, striving to develop new ventures, he lamented. What are you suggesting? I give up Forex. If I do that, how will we afford anything? We won't be able to cover the rent, I protested. I can cover the rent at least, my husband interjected. They failed to realize that our entire lifestyle here is sustained by my earnings as a full-time Forex trader, yet my in-laws and husband persist with their opinions. The following day, the results of the infidelity investigation I had commissioned for my husband arrived. As expected, he was guilty. He had been having an affair with a woman 12 years his junior, aged 25. She was a colleague who joined the company after I resigned, so I didn't recognize her. However, it seemed he had indeed traveled to South Korea for business on several occasions. I spent the next few days grappling with the investigation's outcome. How should I confront this? It's inevitably leading to divorce. That evening, after Stacy from the housekeeping service had prepared dinner and departed, my mother-in-law broke the tense silence. Ashley, after discussing it with Stephen and your father-in-law, we've come to a decision. We're not comfortable with you being here. We want to live as a family, just us. Please leave, she stated firmly. My husband hadn't returned from work yet. We don't want to rely on money earned through deceitful means. Your attitude, acting as if you know everything, is not appreciated. This decision was made after a thorough discussion with Stephen and Ashley. We need you to go, she reiterated. I felt an unexpected sense of relief. All right, I replied calmly. The absence of my husband at that moment made it clear that any remaining feelings for me had long dissipated. It dawned on me that I had never been obligated to care for these individuals in the first place. That day, I packed my belongings and relocated to a hotel temporarily. Shortly after, I initiated divorce proceedings upon uncovering my husband's infidelity, securing a cozy one-bedroom apartment suited for solo living, and settled in. I transferred the lease of our original apartment to my husband's name. About 4 months later, I received a message from my ex-husband. He expressed a desire to discuss something important and requested to visit my new apartment. When he arrived, to my apprehension, he was accompanied by my former in-laws. Ashley, I'm sorry. Please come back and live with us, he pleaded. Suddenly, my ex-husband broke into tears. What's wrong? What's happened? I asked, concern turning to confusion. Without looking up, he choked out, "We can't afford the $4,000 rent, and we're facing eviction." "We have nowhere else to turn, Ashley. Please, we need your help." "What happened exactly?" I asked. According to my ex-husband, after I left, the apartment ventured into a new business endeavor called LED import sales, importing specialized LED lights from a manufacturer in South Korea for use in factories and hospitals. Unfortunately, the lights turned out to be severely defective. The clients reported that the sockets of the LED lamps were detaching, posing a danger of the bulbs falling out and rendering them unusable. Consequently, all the LEDs were returned. Despite attempts to reach out to the South Korean manufacturer, language barriers and vague contracts prevented any resolution. The venture proved to be a colossal failure, resulting in substantial losses. Eventually, he was compelled to resign. What was he even thinking? I muttered to myself. Subsequently, he decided to pursue a career as a full-time Forex trader himself, using what little savings he had left to purchase a computer and start trading. However, lacking proper education and experience, he made a significant trade that ended in disaster, swiftly depleting his savings. Meanwhile, my ex-father-in-law attempted to invest his remaining savings in the stock market to augment his funds. Unfortunately, due to poor timing, his efforts failed. With their finances in shambles, they found themselves unable to afford rent or secure alternative accommodations, leading them to come to me, kneeling in desperation. "But we're already divorced, aren't we?" I reminded them. "Yes, we are, but please, we need your help. I'm begging you," my ex-husband pleaded. "What happened to your young girlfriend?" I couldn't resist asking. "After I lost my job, I lost touch with her," my ex-husband admitted. "Well, it's not surprising she wouldn't stick around for someone who's lost his job," I remarked. "Ashley, you're the only one I want now. Let's give our marriage another chance," he pleaded. "That's right, Ashley. We realize now that we misjudged you. We're truly sorry," my ex-in-laws chimed in earnestly. "Ashley, I owe you an apology too. I misunderstood Forex trading and wrongly accused you of wrongdoing. I'm sincerely sorry," my ex-husband added. "I decline," I replied firmly. "Ashley, please reconsider." "I admit my mistakes, and I promise I won't betray your trust again," he implored. "That's right, Ashley. Stephen won't cheat again. Let us return to being a happy family of 4, my ex-mother-in-law added. "I've already said no. If you persist, I will involve the authorities," I warned firmly. Despite their continued pleas, my ex-husband and former in-laws eventually left. They truly were an unbelievable family. Following their departure, I received several more desperate calls from my ex-husband, all pleading for reconciliation. Each time, I firmly declined. I no longer cared to know what became of them as I continued my solitary work as a trader from home. I began to feel the desire for companionship. After consulting with my friend Amy, she offered to introduce me to someone. Tomorrow, I have a meeting arranged with Amy and this individual. I'm cautiously optimistic about this new encounter. Thanks for watching. How did you find the story? Let me know in the comments below. Remember to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more awesome stories like this. Your feedback and support mean a lot.